Are you ready for a series of questionable questions with Peter and Jeff from Brandartica? Your seats and tray tables should be locked and in their full upright position. This is 1/7, the podcast.
Hamburgers and cheeseburgers, welcome to the 1/7 podcast. We've got a very special guest today. His name is, he's Mr. and Mrs. Gross's kid. Adam Gross. He's the Vice President of Sales for Dippin Dots, leading a team of 22 to drive national accounts and support their franchises. Under his leadership, the company doubled its sales between 2012 and 2015 and added over 700 national points of presence. Before Dippin Dots, Adam spent 10 years with Six Flags America, starting in the food and beverage warehouse team and eventually becoming retail manager. His experiences in the theme park industry gave Adam incredibly valuable insights into the customer needs, and of course, he now brings those experiences and leadership ideas to his team at Dippin Dots. So, Adam lives in Maryland with his wife and his 2 boys and 4, not 3, not 5, but 4 dogs. Adam Gross, welcome to 1/7 the podcast.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here. Jeff, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
So we're not going to pull any punches here. Let's get straight into the. Can you confirm or deny Dippin Dots mint chocolate is in fact back?
Oh, it's back. So you've heard that, huh?
Yes. Very exciting.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite flavors. We had made a change to a cool mint crunch where it had an Oreo cookie in it, and we decided to go back to the original recipe for mint chocolate. So we're excited about it. I think a lot of our customers are excited about it. So yeah, it's great that it's back.
Excellent. The mint chocolate. You gotta love the mint chocolate. I remember it from my childhood with the Andes candies, and I remember those things. Can you give us a short history of Dippin Dots?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, if we go all the way back, right, there's a pretty neat story with the inventor of the product, Kurt Jones. Kurt was a microbiologist, and he was doing some research on worked for a company called Alltech, and he was doing some research on better ways to get protein into cattle feed, and it had to do with cryogenic encapsulation, right? So he went back home to the farm where he was raised, and he was explaining some of the science to his parents, who happened to be churning ice cream, kind of old school ice cream churning machine with the rock salt and everything. And they didn't quite grasp what he was talking about, and so he kind of brought it right around to the ice cream mix that they were churning. Said, if I were to take that ice cream mix, put it in this process that I'm describing to you, I would have a pellet of ice cream. And that was sort of the eureka moment for him. Kind of took it from there, developed the idea, was producing in the garage, and then, ultimately opened a store in Lexington, Kentucky. And as I hear, nobody knew what Dippin Dots were then, so nobody went to the store. And then the idea to pivot and take it to theme parks was Kurt's brainchild to say, they're not coming to us. We're going to take it to them. So at one point in time, there was an amusement park in Nashville, Opryland. They used vending bikes to ride around the park, and had a freezer on front of the bikes, and they took it to the people, right? And it was well received, and that's when the brand explosion took place within theme parks. You had a lot of believers right away, and in a fun environment, looking for a novelty type product that also was backed by quality. It really kind of soared from that point. So yeah, that's brief, but a little bit of the history there.
It's interesting because when, there's so many things in the industry or just over time, you can look at the entire world or civilization and say so many things have changed over such a fast period of time. So when you joined Dippin Dots, were there major challenges that the brand was kind of up against at that period? And what were they, and how did you address them coming in?
Yeah, so growth, in most businesses, right? How do you continue to grow? How do you stay relevant? And with Dippin Dots, one of the unique challenges is that when you have a product that is manufactured with liquid nitrogen and in a free-flowing state, in order to preserve, the product integrity, it requires a super cold chain, right? You got to move stuff at -40 or colder, and you ultimately have to store and serve at -40 or colder. There's nothing standard about that, right? So I embraced that early on, and then it's been kind of a series of pivots over time to figure out, how we can ship smaller quantities, how can we tap into resources and partners that we have to distribute, more of a kind of a white glove approach, and less about shipping massive quantities on a lot of dry ice to keep the stuff cold. So um, that's been one constant all the way through, from almost 19 years ago now to today, is the distribution challenges that come along with moving a super cold product like Dippin Dots, and making sure that we can continue to offer at a fair price to our customer, who then resells on at retail.
No, that makes sense. The that process that you were talking about, in terms of keeping things cold. Does the machine actually um, produce the Dippin' Dots beforehand and store them, or does it do it fresh for each order?
Oh yeah, so it's if you're talking about say vending machines where you see product in vending, that's prepackaged in our facility in Paducah, Kentucky. So yeah, everything is manufactured there. We do three main pack types: bulk, which would eventually land with our customer where they're actually scooping dots, cups at a time. And then we do a prepackaged cup and a prepackaged pouch, two different prepackaged servings. Everything is pre-manufactured. Neat idea, though. It would be kind of a micro plant right inside a vending machine. It would be pretty expensive, I would think, but.
And, who knows what a machine like that would be capable of next? What if it became sentient and made decisions on flavors by itself? I'm sorry, Adam. We are not going to provide that flavor today. Today will be tuna banana. No.
That's right. It would check your social media profiles and then choose the flavor for you.
But what are some of the challenges you face today? And the second part of that, new business strategies and marketing partnerships. Um, is that part of that challenge that as you grow? So in a nutshell, what are some of the challenges you guys are facing now in this industry? And, what marketing partnerships and new business strategies are you implementing or excited about?
Yeah, so new markets, first and foremost, I guess I would comment on. We rolled out to Regal a couple of years ago, cinemas, and we had a fair amount of independent or smaller chain theater business. We were acquired by J&J Snack Foods a little over 2 years ago. J&J owns Icy, right? So Icy is huge in theaters, right? So yeah, we had an opportunity to kind of look at theaters with a fresh set of eyes and some influence within that channel, right? So Regal took off. That has gone very well. And then since we've started to roll out to AMC and to Cinemark, so all new opportunities, really a new market for us. And theaters are unique. I mean, the ritual, it is one of the more ritualistic behaviors that we as people do. Kind of in advance, if you're going to set aside the time to go to a movie theater, you already know what you're going to buy when you go there. Either you're doing something in advance, right, to prepare yourself, or when you get there, it's the Diet Coke, the peanut M&Ms. I'm sharing, right? That's my ritual. So can Dippin' Dots kind of cut into that ritual and play a role there? And so far, consumers have responded favorably there. So challenges that go along with that, how do we, fit, our program into the theater space? Great partners to work with in all three that I mentioned, and we've found a solution to be able to deliver in a way that has met their needs and in some cases exceeded their needs. So that has gone very well. And then, overall, if we look market, kind of high level, it's staying relevant, right? And the emergence and continued emergence of social media, the importance of opening a conversation in multiple social media channels to communicate directly with your customers and build a relationship. Our marketing team has done a fantastic job of that, not playing the role of like spamming and deals and those types of things, but really hearing what people that are interested in Dippin' Dots are saying, and then having thoughtful responses, engaging, and really, from Facebook to X to Instagram and so on, there are different languages, right? That you can speak. There you have different, permissions to go. Sassy levels can sort of alter, depending on what channel you're active in. And our team does a really good job of that. And we've been able to, connect with and utilize influencers, kids that like to, cook, and we'll send them products and they create, and, we amplify that. But really just being kind of dialed into what people that are interested in Dippin' Dots are doing and saying, and then being a part of that in an ongoing fashion. It's a real testament to the marketing team on the Dippin' Dots side.
That's fabulous. And I agree. I think it's funny the way you put it, Adam, the SaaS level on different social media, because that's exactly what it is. There's places and spaces for different kind of responsiveness or messaging or tones, and it's a lot of fun to play with. I think it's what's really great about what your team is doing is they know they know their audience, and they know where they are. They're speaking in the right terms to the right people in the right places, and that often people can misunderstand or misconstrue how that works, and they miss the mark. So that's kudos to you guys. Now, on this very same point, we're going to get down into the nitty gritty a little bit, okay? This is where we get into the section of questionable questions. The legal team is standing by just in case. HR has got their finger on the red button just in case. And I wanted to ask you, which is something that always comes up every year, Die Hard, the movie. Is it a Christmas movie or no?
I never viewed it as a Christmas movie. I just didn't. Because it takes place at Christmas time, to me, doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
All right, so moving on, like the first concert that you attended, what was that?
Yeah, it had to be. It was Rush. My dad was a Rush fan, and huge Geddy Lee fan. My dad played the bass, and so I'm trying to remember what album that it might have been. Presto, the Presto tour. I do remember Top Hats on the stage with the rabbits in them. But yeah, and I remember being absolutely floored watching Neil Peart during the drum solo. And I was young at the time, pretty young.
Yeah, that was a really great concert. There's a local for us in New England, Amy Mann did a song with them on that album, I believe. Yeah.
Time Stands Still.
That's right.
The very first record I ever purchased myself was in a record store in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It might have been like the Eye of the Tiger single, which I know it's kind of like, what? But I was young. But the woman behind the counter who rang me up and put the single in the bag was none other than Amy Mann.
Wow.
Yeah. Before Till Tuesday went somewhere. She was working in Tower, I think it was, no, it wasn't Tower. It was like Newbury Comics in Harvard Square. We're going to get to another piece here where I want you to finish a lyric for me. I'm going to start the lyric. We're going to go back and forth, and we're going to see how you do. So if I say, Adam, exit light, you say,
enter night.
Grain of sand.
Take my hand.
We're off to
Never Never Land.
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. You nailed it. You made it through.
Love that. Great song.
Adam, if you could have any historical figure as a mentor for a day, who would it be and why?
As a mentor, historical figure. Fictional? Does that count?
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know if this counts as a historical figure, but I am a huge Andy Dufresne fan. Shawshank Redemption. And from a point of patience, stick-to-itiveness, and reminding me of the importance of friendships Andy Dufresne is just an awesome on the pedestal kind of guy for me.
Get Busy Living or Get Busy
That's great.
Dying.
Love
Yep,
it.
that's one of my.
That was Red, right?
Now, yeah, right, same movie. But here's a question, and this is I know my answer. My answer is yeah, every time I gotta. If you're flipping around channels and you happen to cross Shawshank Redemption, I have to finish it. I have to stay, and if it's on, I gotta go. Same.
Absolutely.
You can't.
Yeah, I look. I don't know why I feel so compelled to share this, but I almost never have never welled up watching a movie, but the Brooks part, no matter how many times I see it, gets me every time.
Brooks and his pet crow. Oh boy.
Yep.
Jake. Is that his name? Was
Yeah.
it Jake?
It was Jake. That's right.
Surprising hobby, wacky interest that you have that most people wouldn't realize about.
I do Legos while watching football, and I love mowing my lawn.
Same here.
There's no better Zen time.
All right, so celebrity encounter. Who was it? Where and what happened?
Oh, I've got a good one, and it's timely. I'm a Ravens fan, Baltimore Ravens. One of my heroes would be Jacoby Jones. He just recently passed away, which was sad news. But I was traveling from San Diego back to Baltimore, and there was a stop in Houston. This was a few years back, and my wife is a huge Ravens fan as well. So I see this guy walking towards the gate, and he's just got this walk about him where I said, that's Jacoby Jones. And I was at kind of, Southwest position A20 something, and he was A1. So I snap a photo, and I send it to my wife, and I said, I think I'm going to be on the same flight as Jacoby Jones from Houston to Baltimore. And she said, I need more proof. So I get on the plane, and the seat next to Jacoby is open, and I said, can I grab the window? He's like, hey, man, sir. I said, Jacoby Jones, right? He goes, yeah, what's up? So we talked a little bit, and I said, I thought that was you. I had sent a photo to my wife, and she needs more proof. And he's like, call her. So I called her at work, and he takes the phone, and he's like, what's up, girl? This is Jacoby Jones. And I can hear her kind of cackling right through the phone. She was just floored that he called, and he was very engaging with everybody on the plane. I did talk to him about for any Baltimore Ravens fans or Denver Bronco fans out there, will remember the Rocky Mountain Rainbow that sent that game into overtime, wound up being double overtime, Peyton Manning era, and Jacoby Jones was the one who caught that. That was maybe the second time I welled up a little bit, had a little tear. And I told him about it. He said, man, I didn't do anything. Joe put it right in my hands. So he gave credit to Joe Flacco on that one, which I thought was pretty cool.
Adam, of course, you know what comes next. We're going to ask you to leave our audience with a parting thought or any news from the Dippin Dots galaxy that you'd like to impart on anyone. And tell us where we can learn more or find more.
Yeah, so dippindots.com. One of the fun things to do on the website would be to take a look at the recipes section of the website. Especially now that it's fall, we have a lot of fun fall-themed things that you can do with Dippin Dots. And then also on the Dippin Dots website, you can check out Dippin Dots home delivery. So if you have a party coming up, and of course access to talk to us through online submission to get information if there's caterings and things like that. We can link you with suppliers locally. So a lot of information on dippindots.com. Of course, active on all social channels. Find us there. We're happy to engage in conversation with you. Be on the lookout. Mint chocolate, as we started, is back. So that was kind of a mid-season deal where we brought it back, but as we get into next summer selling season, you'll see more and more of that. And then also a new flavor to keep an eye out for would be Cookie Monster, which is a blue sugar cookie ice cream. And it has a chocolate cookie dough piece and a chocolate chip cookie dough piece. So 3 cookies in one there. It's delicious. Probably my new favorite flavor, right up there with mint chocolate. So yeah, that's I think that'd be my message at this